Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today I could not wait to share this video with you guys. Char Girl has given us a couple more face palettes, and let me just tell y'all, I got some thoughts about these face palettes. So I will be sharing with you a demonstration of both palettes on my face. Of course, sharing with you my thoughts and letting you know who I think either palette will work best for and all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And let's get right into this video. So we have what she calls her Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palettes. They both do retail for $75, and you can pretty much get these palettes anywhere that Charlotte Tilbury is sold. Her website, Sephora, Nordstrom, and the list goes on. So we have here this face palette here, which is for fair to medium complexions. And then we have this one that is available for medium to deep complexions. And let me just say, I am so excited because I feel like she gave us two face palettes that essentially were the same, just for fair to medium complexions and medium to deep complexions. And I say that because in the past, sometimes when Charlotte Tilbury comes out with two face palettes for different complexions, she makes them almost different in terms of formulations. And I'm just like, but I like the formula in the light palette, but then it's different in the deep palette. So I'm very happy that with both of these, formula-wise, we've got the same formulation, just different shades to match different complexions. And then of course you get a really beautiful, nice size mirror. I love the packaging on the outside of it. I mean, Char Girl came to slay with the packaging. So she says that we are getting into her new Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palettes. And this is also for face and eyes. Let me just say that, face and eyes. So it's featuring 2 blush shades and 2 glow shades. She says that this fair to medium palette is suitable for everyone, especially fair to medium shades. So let's do some swatches and then get into the application. So first we have this shade right here that she calls a soft blush, and she describes this as a cool pink matte blush shade. Then we get into this shade right here, which is what she calls her super glow shade. And she says super glow is a warm glow highlighter. We have this super blush right here that she describes as a peach pink matte blush. And then lastly, we have her multi-glow shade here, which she describes this as a rose gold highlighter. So she says this is the same shade as Pillow Talk Multi-Glow in Romance Light from her Pillow Talk Party collection. So these are all 4 shades from the fair to medium palette. And so when I applied it to the face, I applied it on this side of the face. So I first went in with the super blush shade and applied it right along here. And the blush brush that I used to apply it was the BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy, her A507 brush. This is a synthetic brush hair. And so I went in, applied it right here. I felt like pigmentation was very beautiful. These are pigmented, okay? Okay, you do not need a lot, but if you want to put on a lot of blush, especially if you know blush wears quite quickly against your skin, you can definitely build up the pigmentation of this blush shade. And then I took the lighter, cooler toned blush shade and I put it right here along the lower portion of my cheek area. Same brush, just wiped it off. Once again, this shade is nice and pigmented as well, but because it is a little cooler, it's not gonna come off as intense as the super blush does, but still very beautiful, very complimentary. And I know I've got dramatic eye looks. These are the 2 new Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana individual eyeshadow palettes. So that's what's on my eyes. That review will be up tomorrow. I think that I'm putting this one up first. So with this cooler toned eye, I felt like the cooler toned blush complemented it really nicely. And so then I went in with the multi-glow shade, which is stunning, okay? It is just like succulently, stunningly. So I took it and I used it as a blush topper so you could see it against my skin. And just to get a closer look at it, oh, this right here is just, oh, it is stunning, okay? Just stunning. And then I use the Super Glow shade as my actual highlight, and I use my Sonia G Classic Cheek Brush for the highlight. And y'all, this side is giving, okay? It's giving like it's giving everything, okay? I knew I was gonna love the fair to medium palette. I knew it just because these are tones that I love. Like, they are rich, they're pigmented, they're just so beautiful. Okay, let me calm myself down. Just so beautiful. I love, love, love the tones in this palette. Now let me say, although she is claiming this is a fair to medium palette, I will actually say if you are tan, you can most definitely use this palette. And if you are like tan, maybe a hint of deep, you could use this palette. So this is definitely not your, if I could say, standard traditional fair to medium type of palette, where usually those types of palettes and their more traditional color selections barely show up against my skin. Like, I can maybe pull it off, but like they really don't show up well in terms of the blush shades, and then the highlighters are like sometimes a little too icy for my complexion. Like, they look very cool against my skin. And these shades do not look that cool toned and not stark at all. And you can most definitely see the blush on my skin and the highlighters. Like, just stunning, darling, stunning. Okay, but let's get into this medium deep, because dear Jesus, okay? He is smiling down from heaven on this palette here. Okay, so let me give y'all a little description of them, because you know we like to have details over here. So she says, once again, the medium deep palette is great for every complexion, but especially those who do have a medium to deep complexion. So let's do a little swatcheroo. So we're gonna first start off here with her soft blush shade. And she describes this as a peachy rose matte. Then we go into this shade right here, which is her super glow shade. And she describes this as a gold highlighter. We'll go into the super blush shade. And she describes this as a warm rose matte blush. And then lastly, her multi-glow shade. She describes this as a warm pink gold highlighter. And she says this is the same shade as the Pillow Talk Multi-Glow in Dreamlight from her Pillow Talk Party collection. I now know which one that is. I was like, do I have that? I do. These. So she says this is Dreamlight. So this is Dreamlight. So I swatched all the shades in the Pillow Talk Multi-Glow in Dreamlight together. They're not the same shade. This is the one from this palette. Here's the Pillow Talk Multi-Glow palette in Dreamlight, unless I'm referring to the wrong one. And if I am, let me know down in the comment section below. But they don't look the same. So this is from the Dreamlight palette, and then this is the multi-glow shade from the Beautifying Pillow Talk Face palette. Either way, both shades are stunning, but they're not the same. And I don't have the lighter version of this palette to compare it to the fair to medium palette. But let me take off this last swatch. Here we go. So these are the shades of the medium to deep Beautifying Pillow Talk Face palette. So getting into demonstration, I first started off with the super blush and applied it right here. Very pigmented, okay? Very pigmented. I went in with the Sonia G Buffer Pro Brush, and that's what I used to blend out these these shades, because I knew that this was going to be intense based on the intensity of the fair to medium palette. So I wanted to use this buffer brush so that as I was applying it, I could buff it into the skin so it wouldn't look so stark. And then I went in with the soft blush shade right here and applied it to the apples of the cheeks. And I mean, both of these shades are so beautiful, and I love the gradient of using both of them together. Like, for me, when I wear this palette again, I probably will use the blush shades, use both of them the way that I applied it, because I love the gradient of the blush shades. So then I went in with the multi-glow shade. Honey child, this multi-glow shade she is gorgeous, okay? Gorgeous. Use that in the same way to apply it on the apples of my cheeks just to give it a glow. And then I went in with the soft glow. I went in with the super glow shade here as a highlight. And this super glow shade is definitely my favorite in the palette. This right here, let me show it on the back of my hand. It is this shade right here. Look at her sparkle. Look at her succulence. I mean, y'all, like I said, Jesus is happy with both of these palettes, okay? But he is really happy with this one. Oh my gosh. I knew these were gonna be hits. Like, I knew them. The only review that I watched was Gabe Loves Makeup. I try not to watch too many reviews or reviews at all before I've tried a palette, but I was like, I have to watch his at the very least. And when I saw them applied to his face, I was like, I'm gonna love, 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 love them. Now, obviously, I already have my eyes done from a previous video, so I didn't use these on the eyes, but he did use them on the eyes, and I will link his video down below just in case you do want to see his review, see how he uses these palettes on the eyes. I will tell you, I have used these palettes on my eyes. I didn't record it, but I used, I think it was this one, and I took the matte blush shades, used them in the crease of my eyes, and then I added a little bit of the multi-glow shades in the inner portion. Like, it was a very quick look, and these work really great on the eyes. So I would definitely suggest that you use these palettes as the way that they are marketed is. Face and eye. Do not limit them to just the face. Because, you know, you may not get your money's worth by just using them only on the face. However, I will say, even if you just want to use them on the face, these palettes are beautiful. They're beautiful, okay? They are beautiful. Now, on to which palette I think will work for however complexions. I honestly would agree with her that this medium to deep palette can work for all complexions, even if you have a very, very, very light complexion. And here's the reason why. These shades blend very effortlessly. And so if you do have a very light complexion and you're like, Chelsea, I don't want to look like a clown, okay? I don't, all right? This is what I would suggest. Go in with a buffing brush. Take the shadow, okay? So let's do a little demonstration. So I'm gonna take the Super Blush shade and I'm gonna get it in a nice bit of a concentration on the back of my hand, okay? So nice little swatch right there. I should have did this on this hand because I'm not left-handed, but let's go ahead and blend this out, all right? And as you can see, this does blend very, very nicely, and you can blend it out quite sheer, all right? So if you didn't, obviously, you know, when you go to apply blush on the face, you're not gonna apply it in like a stripe, but if you took a small amount, blended it on your face, it's going to blend very nicely. So here I go, I was just blending it on the back of my hand. Like I said, I'm left-handed, so it's kind of awkward. But as you can see, it does sheer itself out. So if you were, and this is what it looks like even more blended on the back of my hand. So if you are somebody who has a lighter complexion and you're just like, I really like the medium to deep one, but like, am I gonna get some use? Yes, you can, and you can use it on the face. I would say even this Super Glow highlighter is definitely light enough. So here it is again. It is light enough to where I think multiple ranges of complexions could use it. And then for this one, although this would be too stark on the face as a highlighter, you could use it on the eyes. And then for the fair to medium palette, I would say that if you are, like I said, anywhere from fair to like tan, maybe tan deep, depending on how you like your blushes and your highlighters, you could use this one because the blush shades are buildable and pigmented, and these highlighters, although they are lighter, they're not cool, they are warmer. Now, if you are of a lighter complexion and you have more cooler tones in your complexion, I still feel like you could use these highlighter shades. I think you could use this highlighter shade and use the same concept as I was describing with the deeper blush, buff it into the skin so it doesn't look so stark on the face. And I think this shade right here, you would just use it on your eyes if you feel this is going to be too deep for you as an actual highlighter. She definitely created the medium to deep palette for pretty much almost every complexion out there. Pretty much, like I said, depending on what you like, your preferences, a lot of complexions can use this palette and be very happy with it and use it on the face and eye. And then I would say for, like I said, lighter to tan, maybe tan deep, could really enjoy this fair to medium palette. And like I said, to get full use of both of these palettes, use them on the face and the eyes. Do not restrict them to just the face, because if you're only using them on the face, depending on your complexion, your preferences, and so on, you may not get your money's worth of the palette, and that could lead to some disappointment or just feeling like it wasn't worth your investment. But your girl is happy with both, okay? Because I feel like depending on what look I want, I know I'm gonna be reaching for these. I'm going out of town today. Ma'am, taking both of them. These are so worth it to me, and I would definitely say, and I don't really feel like I've said this a lot this year, but these are definitely palettes where I'm like, look, if you're even thinking about them, go and get them. Go ahead on, add to cart. If you don't want to add to cart today, it's totally fine. Beautylicious having their gift card event coming up. I've got a video coming up on that. The Sephora savings event is starting in a couple weeks, so you could definitely, you know, save your coins right now. But let me just say, you want to go ahead and get them. You want to go ahead and get them. So let me know your thoughts down below, because I want to know, do you think that they're worth it if you have them? Are you interested in them? I love them. I really do. I want to hear all your comments though. Even if you don't like them, leave it in the comments below, because you know, you might have a reason as to why you don't like them that might actually appeal to someone else. So leave all your comments down below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.